Hello! Yet again,
Maybe for the last time, my friends.
yeah, because we're quitting the channel after this. It's fucking over. I'm done with this bullshit. I don't fucking like this asshole.
Right, here we go. Let's start a new drinking game. Take a drink every time somebody says hope or despair.
Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day.
I relate.
Story. Or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
Your face.
Huh? What about my face?
You're covering it with your hand, you arsehole.
It looks
What's
so
wrong with my
subtly
beautiful
different
face?
to Mukuro's. I think
People
it's
have told me
great.
I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
I feel like this isn't the first time
I've been on every magazine for the last 10 years, you fucking simpleton.
I just want to say, I think Junko's voice acting is fucking great. It took two people to
She
voice
sounds really bored.
it. Yeah, that's the point. That's her bored personality.
She has a personality based around an emotion.
Yeah.
That's crap.
That's her bored.
Amateur.
That's her bored personality.
My bored
and
personality.
and the way she doesn't
Okay.
just keep it completely flat. There is ever so slight inflections in the way she speaks and when
That's
she does it.
just called being good at doing a bored character voice.
Cool, and I think
I'm
she
doing
does
it
it
right
really
now,
well.
Finn.
Not as well as she does it. You're not doing it
Get
as well
out.
as she does it.
Get out of my house.
No,
Go, fuck off.
no.
You don't deserve to be near me now, you bastard.
What were you gonna say before I interrupted you?
I'm gonna say fuck you.
Okay. Before arriving at school,
I got it.
she gets
That's
on the cover
right.
of every magazine.
It was
Yeah.
before I ever came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover. And you were on it.
What?
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you.
You're
made
right,
it
I am
so far.
famous.
Huh.
Good job. Have half a life point back, you fucking idiot.
So I was right. Then what you told me in the main hall when this all began.
That you Photoshop yourself. It was bullshit. Yeah, they were sowing the seeds of this from the very beginning.
Mm.
Yep, that was bollocks.
Wait, this isn't voice acted.
No. Oh, whatever.
Oh, I'm not gonna do it because I won't do it good enough.
Oh no, you're not as good as a professional voice actress who was paid lots of money.
Wouldn't you agree?
And you take offense to that.
Yes.
Okay.
That explains why she didn't quite seem the same, because she was a different person all along.
You're a different. Shut up.
I'm me. And Mukuro is Mukuro. She tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate
This is
fashionista.
grating me.
Really?
Two people can never become one as long as the
She's
walls of
reminding me
mind
of
and
Aoi
body
Zowie
exist.
from My Hero Academia.
I don't know who that is.
You watched it.
Yeah, I don't remember the names. You don't remember the names.
That's why he's not actually called Aoi Zowie. I just made it up.
Who is?
The teacher. He's bored.
Oh, okay. Oh, him. Eraserhead.
Not even
Mm.
if they're twins.
Twins.
I know, it's such a cliche, right? I'm almost embarrassed to admit it.
Oh, they were twins.
So basically, Mukuro and I had your stereotypical twin relationship.
Yeah, stereotypical because there are so many of them.
Tough and proud. That was Mukuro. Younger sister, smart and cute. That was...
Yours?
Me, Junko fucking Enoshima. And together, we were the Despair Sisters, aka
The
ultimate
Despair.
Despair.
Whoa! She's a totally different
Her
person.
voice.
Let's draw attention to
Her voice changed slightly in tone. A little bit.
Let's draw attention to it.
She went from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
Ah!
But it,
What character?
why do you have different last names? Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that shit?
No.
Maybe it's new to your dumb ass, but it bores answering the same questions over and over? Just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
We couldn't fucking think of a reason. You think of one.
That means you killed your
Despairing,
own sister?
isn't it? How you'd kill your own
And the
sister?
reason
That's
deeper
exactly
and
why.
darker than the ocean.
She wanted to feel the despair of killing a loved
Well,
one.
I suppose I'd better explain. For my plan to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game
This
from
final
behind the
confrontation goes
scenes.
on for a fucking long time.
The so-called mastermind
And does she
had to
exist in
operate
all of it?
Monokuma,
Yes.
keep an
And
eye on
Monokuma
everyone,
doesn't?
Things
Nope.
like that. But after looking at the situation, I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties. Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family, leaving me behind to run off and join some band of mercenaries. Such a disappointment. So, I decided to play the role of director and have her join the rest of you in your school life.
So Mukuro was not aware that she was going to be killed.
I figured as much. She looked a little bit surprised.
I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way. Besides, 15 students seemed like a solid number to start with. Of course, the fact that she was the ultimate soldier posed something of a problem. She had what I call the three atrocities. Atrociously rank, atrociously filthy, atrociously repulsive. It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society. Meanwhile, my ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go to waste. And that's
So
why
you
you
must pretend to be me,
switched
because I prefer me over you.
sadly, her inability to match my personality was even greater than I'd calculated. It was a lost cause.
What personality?
What she told
She was
Mukuro
nothing
was
more
that she
than a
was going
bit
to
player,
drop her into
an
a dungeon
extra,
like
unworthy of
Monokuma
mine.
said that she would be, and that Mukuro would then escape and then slowly kill them all one by one. That was what she told Mukuro, and Mukuro
Being
believed
the
her
utter disappointment
because she
that
holds her
was,
sister in
anyone would have
really
expected
high.
her to get killed
She
off
almost
right
has
away.
she almost has a sister complex.
Which is precisely why I killed her, to meet everyone's expectations.
That can't be your only reason, can it?
Well, no, of course not. I also did it to avoid.
Do you remember when I said
becoming
I liked Mukuro, not Junko?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's staying true.
Okay.
I've never been a stickler for following a plan to the letter.
I actually
you know?
want to get up and leave.
If I planned
I can play the
everything
rest.
out and you just
I like
what was
listening
gonna
to her.
happen, that'd be so boring. So I changed
This
things
is what
just a bit
children
and
do.
decided to use Mukuro to make
Yeah.
it a point.
No, not this voice and act. I mean, shifting between one-dimensional personalities is what children do.
Yeah.
In other
That
words,
doesn't give
Mukuro's
personality,
death
that
was a
takes it away.
one-sided, premeditated
She hasn't been
act of
established as
betrayal.
anything else. If she did this just like after a while of being normal, then it'd be fine. But like, there's no easy way to get a pin on her because she's always doing an act.
I suppose.
Just as I suspected.
It makes her one-dimensional. The very nature of it makes her one-dimensional in how she's doing various one-dimensional characters.
I suppose.
When Mukuro was killed, she must have been as surprised as anybody else.
So you figured it out? Well, you're right. There's no way Mukuro could have pulled off such a convincing performance. But she did teach you all a very valuable lesson, don't you think?
Good characters are good. That's what I learned.
Yeah, well done. Good characters are good, yeah. Funny that.
Wish there were more of them, to be honest.
How does that
Specifically
even
one
bother
more.
you?
What? I sacrificed her? That's what's got you so hot under the collar? Jeez, misunderstandings sure are scary. We were the ultimate despair, you know? So we never had any kind of hope or expectations. Nope, I felt despair as long as I can remember. Like I never should have been born at all.
So they're just fucking depressed. They're just depressed people. That's it.
Mostly. But want to spread.
I thought they would be people who want desperately to create despair.
Well, yeah, they do, because they have grown so accustomed to despair that they have grown to masochistically like it. and so they sadistically want to cause it to everyone else so they can experience it.
But they don't show off that. If they were, it's a bit of a contradiction, really. But like, if they just wanted to push forward this narrative of despair without actually despairing much, without being just depressed people, I found that interesting because I wanted to know the almost cult-like motivation of just wanting to cause other people harm. That's very real. But just being depressed and wanting to bring other people down, it's still real. But if that's all they are,
they don't show signs of being depressed people.
She seems mentally unhinged.
I think that's a very weird thing that they bring up, that we're actually all depressed people.
It's just fucking emos.
I never see that anywhere. I've seen Mukuro before she died. She's just a person. It's just a normal person.
I know. That's why it's striking me as odd, because they don't seem like it doesn't seem like that bad of a thing. It's just the way they're presenting it now is terrible.
They actually kind of just forget about that thing. We're actually all depressed people. They kind of just forget about that.
Good.
From this point onwards. I don't think they ever bring it up ever again.
Good.
When I was born, I cried tears of total despair. So that's
I didn't want to be born.
Not a big deal whether we die or kill. We're just those kinds of people. We can do anything. We've always been filled with despair. So when we do something, we go all the way and live without regret.
That contradicts everything she just said. They should live with absolute regret. Because that makes despair.
Without regret of what of the despair they've caused on others.
But that's the point. They're trying to be despairing and make other people despair. Regret is a part of that. That's a contradiction. She's talking fucking horseshit.
You didn't think anything of it?
Oh, I just want to be really sad. I killed a puppy and I wasn't sad about it. That's how sad I am. What?
That's not true at all.
Well, I guess this is the sad one.
We were twins. How could I not be sad?
Apparently she ain't a fun guy. And there ain't mushroom in her heart for other emotions. Bear with it, though. She's got a split personality. I don't like her.
That's why
What a
it gets me
shame.
so excited.
No, I've been dreading this moment since the beginning.
She's a fucking terrible character so far.
Because I thought you would either like her, or absolutely fucking.
Do you know why
despise
I
her.
like Monokuma?
Because he's so expressive.
No.
Why do you
No,
like him so
because he feels like a real person, you know? Because he gets his hopes up, and then he gets sad, and he's snarky, and he's sarcastic, but he's got real human emotions, and he's a mixed bag of all of them. He's got a very clear motive, and like, you know, he just feels like a real person in the way he acts.
Mm-hmm.
This one doesn't. This one is just, I'm gonna fucking do a bunch of personalities.
Because she's not a normal human.
She's like, no, but that's what makes her unlikable to me. What's good about a good villain?
That's weird, because that's what makes her likable to me.
But the whole appeal of this is the mastermind is a real person who's doing this. That's the intrigue. You want to know why the person would do these things and what motivation they'd have. Just being a fucking asshole psychopath is boring. She's one-dimensional. I'm surprised you like... I mean, maybe she's different later on, but... She's just... You know when girls are like, I'm so random, lol. You know, when they do all that stuff, like I'm lol random.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
I know that's what this is, and
it's executed poorly.
Because, you're not going to agree with this, and I wish I didn't agree with this, because I don't know why I like this character.
That's absolutely fine. Things can be subjective.
I don't know why I like this character, but it's because she's almost one-dimensional is why I like her, because it's unexpected.
Yes, that was what I was going to say. It probably hit you completely unawares that she would be like this. I mean, it hit me unawares as well, but...
Because she looks like the kind of person... I usually can't... I've met women who have claimed, oh, I can't remember what my personality is because I just shift it to every different guy I meet, so I can't remember what I'm like. bullshit. I fucking hate women like that, and I should absolutely despise her. But it's because she does this.
It's
that it
because she was
surprises
the
me so
mastermind
much.
built up to be this great genius, and then she subverted their expectations.
I guess so, yes.
But see, the thing is, where that flops with me is because it's Junko, that expectation was already subverted. Because Junko did not seem like the smart kind of person. Having Junko be actually a cold, calculated villain, that struck a chord with me. If she'd have been Junko just like Murako was Junko, I would have fucking adored her, because that's so good.
That would have been even better, admittedly. Yes.
All she is a one-dimensional character who they're like, just make her shift between different one-dimensional personality tropes and then she'll have a personality? What if I was... like, you know characters who are just one personality? Like in that...
Makoto?
Yeah, he's just neutral. But like... Mondo felt other emotions. Mondo was a great character. What if he was just angry all the time? You'd fucking hate him.
He'd be stupid.
What if Chihiro was only ever shy, didn't ever want to build up
only
the
ever
muscles
cried
and
all
that?
the time.
Yeah, boring. What if Aoi was only ever completely fucking thick?
That's like she is most of the time.
A lot of the time.
What
but
if
no, sometimes
Sayaka
she's
was
clever.
just Sayaka? Actually, no. Even she did something towards the end, and when it was a surprise that she was the one to make a
that's
first
why
move.
this game is so great, because the characters that you get to know, they don't just follow those tropes. Mondo wasn't just an angry biker. He gave the impression and he subverted it. All this Junko has done is ruined what the first Junko was great for.
The first Junko was great.
This Junko is just a bunch of one-dimensional personality tropes. She's a mixture of all the shit characters I know. She's an amalgam. This is despair. And that was the intention all along! Fuck you! But like, okay, there's a character in I can't remember what it was called. It's like Ruby or something. Not the good one. And it was about this character called Ruby, and they live in this sort of Halloween themed. It wasn't Halloween themed, but it was like a horror themed world. And there's a character called Misery who is just always sad. She never does anything except be sad. That's this fucking character right here.
Something has been warning me or making me anxious that you wouldn't end up liking
It's
her.
because I think in your heart of hearts you know she's a one-dimensional, boring
It's
character.
probably because-
but subjectively you really like her, and that's
I
fine.
think you're exactly right.
But that's fine. I don't get... Subjectivity is a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing.
But it
For
can
all the
be-
shit I talk about it, I love that people can love shit or hate good, but she is a one-dimension... She's a mixture of one dimensions, and that doesn't make a cube.
And then fucking write that down, wiki quote!
You can rub as many pieces of paper together as you want, but it will never make a 3D printer. You know, I can see what they were going for, and I can see why a lot of people would probably like this, because it does come out of the blue. But speaking as someone whose palate is maybe a bit I don't like it.
Okay.
It's just, you know, I've explained it.
Killing my precious sister with my own two hands. That act is filled with so much despair. You can't help but
I'm
put a
the
super in
sad
front of it.
one.
It's like super,
I
super,
like-
super,
I-
super despair.
This is probably just me trying to make up excuses to
No, it's
justify
fine.
to myself
Listen,
why I
listen,
like her.
listen. If you can debate me into liking her, I will be really happy.
I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to.
Doesn't matter.
But I
Super,
also
super,
like
super, super,
how
super,
much
super,
of a
super,
shit
super,
she
super, super,
doesn't
super,
give.
Super, super, super despair.
I think that's the point of the despair bit, though.
That she does.
Monokuma doesn't give a shit.
No, Monokuma doesn't. And he's great. He's better than she is. He's
You
better.
said she's better than him.
Did I?
Yes.
When did I
You
say?
said, "Oh man, you think Monokuma's great?" When the real villain's revealed, oh, she's so well. That person is so good.
Did I? Oh shit. Did I say that?
You did kind of build
I think
it up a bit.
I think
did.
subjective.
Do you remember when I say this person better be fucking incredible?
Yes. I think subjectively, I still prefer her, but objectively, Monokuma is definitely better.
The thing is, Monokuma shows like he doesn't fucking go for like you could say she's showing more than one personality trait. He is a person.
Yes.
He's a real person.
I like how much of a shit she doesn't give, and not in the sense that she says, "I don't care about what I do. Oh, I can do. I'll do what I want and not feel regret for it." But in her actions of how she just swaps between personalities without a care for what it does, without saying that she doesn't care and just acting like she doesn't care. I like that about her.
So you're saying that the way she switches personalities is a visual storytelling point that she doesn't give a shit.
I suppose.
I mean, like, there's things to like about her.
And she's also incredibly psychotic.
Yes.
But doesn't display. The only time she'll ever display that she's psychotic is when she switches to her rocker girl personality. She doesn't display she's psychotic in the way that she'll bring out fucking knives, lick blood off of her fingers. You get the sense of how
but Monokuma
mentally,
didn't. And Celestia Ludenberg didn't.
You get the sense of how
And they were
mentally
both
unstable
better
she
villains.
is and how she acts.
Celestia was like very cold, very calculating, and you could tell like something was wrong with her. Like, okay, the snapping and that, bit too obvious, but it got the point across far better than this does. Monokuma never really actually, the best psychopaths follow their own sets of rules.
Yes.
That's the definition of insanity. Well, I mean, like, it's one of
Which
the
is kind of what
factors.
she's doing. But Monokuma...
No, but what process is putting her through all these personalities? It just...
Because she gets
feels,
bored. Because she
that
gets
doesn't-
bored of the personality.
But that doesn't fit at all. It feels like a jigsaw piece that doesn't go in, The same with this. It just feels so good. You're supposed to just be despairing. If you feel good from despair, then isn't that not despair anymore? That's masochism.
That is a contradiction with liking
Monokuma still got his hopes up and got disappointed in things. He was just like, I want to create despair for everyone. I want everyone to be sad. He never said, I like this shit, because that would be a massive hypocrisy.
Monokuma is a good example of a psychotic villain who expresses his psychosis without directly and obviously being psychotic. But that's a different flavour of how he does it. He does it in his laughing maniacally, being jokey.
He just loves the role he's given.
Being facetious and loving the role he's given. She's got a different flavour in how she does it. It's done in a different way.
It's not that it's
By
done
not
in a
caring.
different way. Being a non-caring but still really good villain can be done, and it has been done.
Can you give me an example?
Let me think. A non-caring villain.
Because I like those villains. This is also comes into pressing my right buttons.
Villains
I love Danganronpa because of that.
You won't
that
know
trope.
her, but I think Opal is a great example of the same type of villain as her done really well. She's one of the main villains in Artemis Fowl.
Oh, okay.
And she is completely self-absorbed. She does everything for herself, and she gives no fucks about anyone else. And that, again, is shown through her actions. She doesn't outright say... Like, she does sometimes when she's being snappy or whatever. But in her actions, you can see what... She... Okay, this is a bit of a spoiler for you, so anyone else... It's not a massive one, but I have to tell you...
Put the controller away, we're going to be here a while.
Sorry. You can skip ahead if you want. But this... One thing Opal did, which I think shows just how much of as little a shit she did, based on a theory, she killed her past self that came to her for help by shooting her in the back of the head just so she could become slightly more powerful because of a theory that might have actually destroyed the entire... And it did, in a sense. It could have destroyed the entire universe. But what it did do is destroy everything that she was related to. And she was the CEO of a manufacturing company that supplied the entirety of human and elven civilization with all its technology.
I think that's going to require a little bit more context. Like, I'm going to have to read that and get into the motions of it, because a lot of what you explained were the consequences of what happened.
And she didn't care, is my point.
Okay.
She did that, knowing what would happen. She sent humans back, and by the way, this has lasting consequences. This is in the last book. She sent the humans essentially back to the Stone Age, ripped apart half of the fucking the fairy world. She fucking tore it asunder with this act, because everything that was related to her, everything she had helped to create, exploded. Actually exploded.
Mm-hmm.
She helped build satellites for humans, fucking televisions, radios, weapons for both sides. most of the practical technology that they had in both sides, all of it exploded. Killing people, destroying things. Destroying the internet, destroying all means of communication. It was fucking insane.
She killed her past self who came to her.
And to do it, she killed her she shot what she deemed as an inferior version of herself.
Okay, that makes it so much better when you put it like that. Can you tell me what this theory is, or is that...
This theory... okay, no, I can tell you, because I don't really like the last book, but her as a character in that one, that moment, really shines for her. She theorized that would destroy her in the future. She would not only cease to exist, but she would cease to exist. And because magic exists, when you travel through time, you have to focus on your own body to keep it intact. Otherwise, it will just become a part of the space-time continuum. It will just dissipate. Mm-hmm. And she theorized that stopping existing would be exactly the same. So if she focused hard enough, she could recreate herself as a more powerful version of herself.
Okay.
But another thing that really goes... I won't go into that, because that goes into what a fucking narcissist she is. So her theory was, if I callously murder myself... Because she also said, oh, well, she's me from the past, therefore she's not as good as me. And she came to me for help, meaning I'm better.
Okay.
Therefore, she's not worth existing. Her existing is an insult to me, being the perfect me.
This does get into all the bullshit of how that is time-wise.
Yes.
Impossible,
Do you remember when I said the time travel was done really well?
Yeah.
This isn't the book. It's
Okay.
the one. It's the one before this.
Okay, where it
the one before
completely
the one before that.
where it completely bugged. Okay, right.
Where it did time perfectly. This one has problems.
That sounds ridiculously impossible.
But as far as with all those plot points aside, for the character, that is a complete psychopath done really well, in my opinion.
Okay.
And it's the same type of character as this.
Okay. I am biased towards liking this character.
That's fine.
Because, you know how I said that I have a very specific kind of trope of a story that I will just love, and that is... I've repeated this several times, but it bears repeating again. A bunch of characters who don't know each other being put into an impossible situation and are forced to work together and grow closer as a result. See 5 Days a Stranger by Yahtzee. See The Nonnery Game as another example. I am also biased towards liking Final
Fantasy X. That's one of the things we love about that.
Yeah, that as well. I am biased towards liking female villains, because there aren't enough of them.
And also they can come across far better than men.
Yes.
Sometimes, if they're executed well.
I'm biased towards liking villains...
because we're men, female villains are actually more imposing to us.
Is that so? Okay.
It's like, you know why face huggers are face huggers? It was to
masculinize?
Something like that. Men, to spark a real fear in them, because they're
being impregnated.
It was a psychological thing. It was really clever when I found out about that.
Right, so I'm biased towards liking female villains. I'm biased towards liking villains who don't really care about what they're doing. Because that I just like that attitude of not caring about what you're doing, because it shows a slightly more psychotic side, rather than having to outright state that you are psychotic. That can be done very, very badly. It's quite easy to do a villain who doesn't care very badly, and I also love villains who don't really have an obvious goal and just want to achieve something because of the road that they take to achieve it, like the Major.
That you said a very clever thing.
Did I?
There are some villains who will do anything to achieve their goal, and there are some villains who
they will not. Most villains don't settle for any means to achieve their goals, but then the Major, and in Junko's case, they do not settle for any goals to achieve their means.
Yes, and I can agree with that. That is sometimes very fun, like people who want to see destruction for destruction's sake. I generally prefer that they have a motive that is obscure,
like the Major, and to maybe slightly or lesser
and
extent
sometimes
Junko.
I like that they have a goal, because I mean, like, I prefer it when villains have a goal. Like, Discord is... You know, you would really love Discord. Discord has no goal. He just wants things to be chaotic. And even when he's a good guy, he still wants things to be chaotic, so he'll sometimes, like, throw them off the trail a bit when he's completely unrelated to everything.
Does he just want chaos for chaos's sake, or does he have a personal desire for it for some reason?
Bit of both, really. He is, by essence, just... He wants things to be chaotic.
Okay.
That's just his nature. He is the god of chaos.
Oh, right. That'll do it.
Yeah. But he's also a very human character, because he's not just chaos, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't say random shit because that's chaotic. He's an actual character, but he will do anything to create chaos.
Sweet.
That's why I love him. He's just so fun. He made it rain chocolate for no fucking reason, because he felt like it. What else did he do? I can't think of anything.
He wanted just a little glass of water, please?
Yes. That as well. He was pretending to be sick just for the sake of it. He didn't want to be left on his own, and he was like, I'm gonna go balls to the walls with it then. I'm gonna make him go and fight a giant worm.
For a little glass of water, please.
You know what else is really great about Discord? On their way there, he's like, well, we need to... Because I'm sick, the only way to cure me is to go and find a special flower. He's not even sick, and the flower does fuck all. And also the flower is, like, bigger than a skyscraper, it turns out. And I think on their way, he was like, I was just resting in my thinking tree. And you know what's great about that? He probably doesn't even have a fucking thinking tree. He's never mentioned it again. That's why he just fucking invents it could be real. I don't know. That's exactly why I love him. And then, like, okay, so a great example of why I don't like her, you know Pinkie Pie? Mm-hmm. Don't fucking like her. I like her when she shows other means of being funny, like, okay, with that thing where it's like, we're gonna make muffins. Oh, what's the secret ingredient? Friendship? No, baking soda. That was really funny. And Pinkie Pie said it. But what I don't like is when she's like, look at me, I'm the funny one, woo! That's what this is to me.
Look at me.
Showing all these personalities, like,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. Fuck you! I'm smart now. But look at me, look how psychotic I am. I change personalities. Normal people don't do that. You know? It's just too in your fucking face with it.
I like to think as that personality where she's got a tongue sticking out. I don't like to think of that as the psychotic personality.
That's not psychotic, that's just her being a
metalhead.
Yes, the rough, obnoxious, tough girl
Mondo
personality.
girl.
Mondo personality.
But I think she's doing all of that, but at least she is not doing the I'm so obviously psychotic thing.
Do you know what would have been really good?
What would have been really good?
Keep everything almost exactly the same, but one little change that would have made me fucking adore her? If she was impersonating all of the people who have been in the school.
That would have been fucking clever, actually.
If she was actually impersonating Mondo, and this is Chihiro, and she does an impersonation of Aoi, and her hair changes subtly to match them. That would have been so much better.
Her hair does change between
I know it does, I've
personalities.
noticed, but it doesn't follow any strict pattern. It's just to accommodate the personality she's doing, which also bothers me, because I know it's a bit ridiculous.
How does she do it so quickly?
Yeah, because that's not being expressed as a power anyone has or anyone can do. Even with Monokuma, it's like, well, there's secret hatches and things that he goes into and hides. This is just like...
She unties both of her ponytails and then ties it into one.
Yeah, this is just like, look how psychotic I am. Nothing makes sense with me. Hooby-dooby-doo.
That I don't like. Being able to change her hairstyle so quickly.
And it's just putting emphasis on what I don't like about her.
One more thing I don't like before we move on is how few... She has a lot of sprites that, in essence, are very expressive.
But there's only one of them.
But there's only one of them for each personality.
I have noticed. I was going to commend them on being like, hey, they've drawn her in many different ways, but then I'm like, but technically each one is a different character.
I hope you like that sprite where she's got her tongue sticking out, because she doesn't fucking change it once she's got it for ages.
Anyway, we've had a nice old debate on this.
Yes,
we've come to the conclusion that people like things subjectively, and we've looked into characters, and it's been great. Quite fitting for an ending. I'm disappointed, but whatever.
With such a build-up, with all this talk of hope and despair, it would have had to have been the best fucking villain you've ever
I'm
seen.
sure they tried their absolute best, but that's the thing. The harder you try with a character, the more you push them into one dimension. She's got to be everything they expect. She's got to be great. Well, there is no perfect pasta sauce.
There is no perfect personality, only perfect personalities.
Yes, so pick one. Don't fucking send her through all of them.
I'm so jealous of her. Super jealous.
That's personality.
I knew you couldn't be just some ordinary person. You're some kind of abnormal.
One-dimensional
This
character.
is now probably going to be them trying to justify
Turning your
her.
own despair into some kind of fetish. Abnormality doesn't even begin to describe
Excuse me, bitch, I'm a masochist.
Yeah.
Like, Genocide Jill is crazy for sure. But
See, guys? See? Pointing, fucking prodding. This is nuts!
Genocide Jill at least has rational reasons for wanting to be a fucking You're just a fucking dick! Again, they're pointing out the
I
flaws!
don't like when they draw it. This isn't just Danganronpa. I hate
Jill
writing-
specifically goes after cute boys for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
She kills in a specific way because she wants to kill that way. They're pointing out why Genocide Jill is a better villain. None of this is making a strong case.
I don't like this in Danganronpa or anywhere else. I don't like it when writing tries to point out what they've done with something,
Yeah,
like
and
they're doing
the
here.
thing is that they're obviously trying to say, wow, you're so much worse than the one we already thought was crazy, right? It's like when they introduce a new character.
You're so much more powerful!
Yeah, it's like Dragon Ball. It's like, you beat up the powerful guy. That means you're obviously more powerful when, like, it was animated badly and it doesn't express how strong they are, you know? Because, like, I don't believe it. They're just... It's like how Piccolo has to be there in every fucking fight to point out just how strong this person is or just what this person's doing. It's like, what, you couldn't express that visually? No, because you didn't write a good enough fucking character and you didn't animate it well enough. They're just being like, you're obviously worse than the worst we could have imagined. Everyone at home be surprised! Look how crazy she is!
That is cancerous writing no matter where you are.
You're saying I don't compare to some lowly beast that can only
Look how much better I am
Like a
than
bear.
Junko.
Like a bear.
I'm hopelessly attractive, hopelessly brilliant, hopelessly athletic.
Hey! Shut up, Hina.
The more you hate her, the more she will be happy that you feel the despair for
She's not
fucking,
real.
for fucking her.
For fucking her?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck her.
Yeah, exactly, you don't want to.
So?
So she'll like that, because you'll feel despair when you do.
I'm not going to.
She'll make you.
She can't.
She's not real.
Exactly, and I'm not even in the fucking murder game. What's she gonna do to me?
No. I don't think there's anything perfect about anything you just said.
Yeah, Master's way more perfect.
I agree with that. He would make a better fucking villain. At least we could justify why he would be the mastermind.
Or Chihiro.
Or Chihiro.
That was actually really clever. A really clever conclusion you came to. Actually, Chihiro would have been an interesting revelation
Thank you.
because of that triple layer.
Did
of
you
reveal.
notice how, like, I was like, I mean, with Junko, it's the perfect storytelling thing, but the real clever one is Chihiro. Again, that's just another flaw.
What did you just
I
say?
came up with a better fucking ending!
You still haven't figured that part out yet? Man, you guys are so
How dare you.
slow.
How fucking dare you.
You haven't even solved all the mysteries, and yet here you are, yapping away.
Since we're talking about everything we don't like still, this final confrontation isn't great because it's got Metal Gear Solid syndrome. They ramble and say the same things over and over again in slightly different ways, but never actually say
So how about the
anything.
next one? Maybe you should solve the riddle of your missing memories. Then you can start gloating.
Damn straight. That's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah, my nigga! It's what you say! Makoto, I saved you once, I ain't gonna do it again!
Man, don't kill her. I don't want her up here. She's too crazy.
She's crazier than me!
I don't want that bitch up here.
We'll have our victory.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I do the Monokuma voice better than her.
It's meant to obviously be an impression, and she is a woman voice actress doing an impression of a male voice actor. If you ask me, I think it's impressive that she managed to get it that close. But you do a nice Monokuma voice. You do a nice Monokuma voice. Bubble.
When the group pictures were taken, and those interviews, it must mean I got it.
If you guys want to get the full context for what these voices are like, you're gonna just in case you can't hear them, because I'm not 100% sure you can.
Buy the game. It's worth it. Buy it.
Or go look up somebody else who's done a non-commentary.
Oh,
version
no one
of
else has done this game ever. We're the first. That's why everyone watches us. Right? Right?
Damn straight.
No fair! At least give us a hint!
You lost your memories. She has given you a hint.
Your brains are like sponges, all drippy and leaky. I already gave you a hint.
I gave you
before.
4.
Your brains are like sponges, all drippy and leaky. I already gave you a hint before.
You have something to prove, do you?
Yeah. Of course I do.
She's a female voice actress.
Doesn't matter. Look what they're trying to do. Why would they try if they know she can't? I know. I get it. It's the point. She's like, oh, I also played him. He's a personality of mine.
Because of course she's not going to be able
But
to
it
replicate.
grates me.
Of course it's not going to be able to replicate the voice perfectly.
Yeah, I know. I know what the point is, but it grates me. The motives.
And what they must be related to. Yeah, the motives? Yeah, okay.
You're talking about
Oh god, the
motives
motives.
provided
Oh, for
to try
fuck's
and
sake. She
give us
wants to
the
talk
truth.
about each motive in crippling detail.
So you do remember well, I would hope you wouldn't forget something.
Oh, good. Is that all of them then? Because she's back to
Right.
this one.
Right, there's the childish one.
Sad
There's the
body.
There's the
Sad, bored, childish Monokuma.
There's the fucking raving one!
The raving one. The smart one.
There's the
Smart one.
teacher one, the smart one. Oh, I think that's it. Oh, there's the Monokuma. You've already got that one down.
Yeah.
Monokuma one. I think that's it.
6.
6 personalities.
6. I could do more than 6 right now. 6 one dimensions.
It was stupid of me. to
That
even
almost
ask.
makes time.
I
That almost
apologize
makes
from the bottom of my heart
nothing.
for my bad manners.
Hey, you know, if we added more humans to the 3rd dimension, maybe we'd make the 4th. Oh, wait.
It's not how it works.
Let me ask you another question. Did you notice that each motive I presented you had a specific theme to it?
No, because we only saw 1 each. Apart from us, we saw 2.
Theme?
Yep, you got it. So that's my question to you all. When Sayaka was murdered, what was the theme of the motive I presented?
It was losing
Losing a loved one.
credibility.
Or losing a loved one. A loved one being in danger.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact for you. I don't know if this is meant to be a secret. I don't think it is. But all the people that they gathered for the first motive, Junko was eventually going to put them into their own killing game that could only last an hour or so, film it, have them all kill each other, and then show the tape to these guys. Look at all the despair of your loved ones killing each other. Now you'll hate each other because your loved ones killed your loved ones.
How would she get them to do that?
She has... Should I tell you this? This isn't the first killing game.
Yeah.
She's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
She's experienced at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So she would know how.
I figured as much.
Yeah. She would be able to do it.
Okay. But like in such a short time, what? Just a Hunger Games thing?
Yeah, kind of.
Alright.
Yeah.
Only one of you can leave here alive. Fight.
Only one of you. Yeah, basically.
And kill the last one. Just walk out. Bang. Give him a bunch of weapons. So the first murder the motive was given was
Human connections.
I got it! The driving force behind the motive you presented us with at that point was human connections.
Ding,
How you
ding,
could come to the
ding.
conclusion of this if you
You
didn't
got
have
it.
a multiple choice.
Remember
If you didn't
those
have multiple
DVDs
choices,
I
I
gave
don't
you guys?
know.
I mean, not specifically human connections.
not
but I could have
specifically
said like
human
friends and family.
Each video showed the total destruction of your most important relationships.
Actually, mine was shown when Junko died. The real Junko.
For example, your family.
Family.
For example, your friends. I ruined all those relationships and showed you.
I don't
the
know. I don't
result.
really know how they expected
It was to
Celestia's
motivate your
cat
desire to
or
escape and
Toko's
kickstart
stink
your urge
bug
to kill.
to stand any chance in the fucking killing game. But these are who they love the most, so we just gotta put
Sakura's dojo.
injured boyfriend.
Oh yeah. I was thinking it was the dojo.
Nah.
Just that's where they fight.
But still, what a cruel thing to do.
You're right. You are a cunt. By the way, this is falling over a lot now.
Okay. I also like
Yeah.
one of the final realizations, which we're gonna get to soon.
Okay. Hopefully it pulls it all back.
Oh, you're hoping, are you?
Yes, well, I'm
Yes.
perfectly happy to accept your
Because
disapproval.
I'm more than a one-dimensional character, funnily enough.
My plan all along was to get your hopes up so that when it is revealed to be crap, you fall into the ultimate despair.
Time for the next question.
Time for the next question!
Cutesy Baby one. We had that one, right?
Yeah, we added that one.
So what was the theme for the second motive?
It's a good voice.
Thank you.
Not as good as her, because she's a professional voice actress paid by... Yeah, how does it feel? How does it fucking feel? Hope you're feeling despaired!
I don't consider myself to be a voice actor!
Man, I really like that game you made. I mean, like, it's nothing like any game that a professional has made. You pathetic whelp. Give up!
But I don't claim my games to be better than those made by professionals.
Alright. I really like your game. Except I got some sticks and I played a game where I throw them at other sticks and that's better. How about that? Does that feel good?
The motive in this theme was crushing your friends! Crushing the dreams that you have to be good at!
Wait, oh, envelopes, so it was secrets.
Yep. That was so obvious. Wait, what?
The meaning of life.
The past?
A strong heart? It could be either of them. It could be
No,
fucking
this-
any of
this
them!
This isn't Kingdom Hearts, so it's not the middle one.
The heart. Kingdom Hearts! What if Kingdom Hearts just turned up right now? Just like, yes, and all this despair was to create the ultimate Heartless to unlock Kingdom Hearts?
For a Danganronpa and Kingdom Hearts crossover, you've got your bingo game of every time hope, despair, heart, light, and darkness are set.
In other words.
And in other words,
Reason Mondo did what he did.
there's probably a Danganronpa and Kingdom Hearts crossover online somewhere. Because there's always those people who
He's
want to.
Monokuma Heartless. He's like half heartless, half nobody.
There's always those people who want to write their crossovers between two things they really, really like, even if they really don't go together.
Yeah, the themes of the... Well, firstly, no one fucking dies in Kingdom Hearts.
Relax.
Sora would die instantly in this fucking game. He'd trust everyone. He'd be like Makoto, but not lucky.
So, what was the motive for the third one?
Alright.
Go on, you.
Oh, and I can't really skip anything here, can I?
Shall I just keep? Oh yeah, because you need to read this all, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
This microphone is in my way, actually. How do I get out?
I'll stand up.
You are trapped in the ultimate despair of a microphone!
Right, I'll keep playing, and I'll summarise basically everything that they've said because they're not going to say much, honestly.
Take a long time to say fuck off.
The theme for the third murder was... The reason Celeste turned to murder was... she wanted to buy a European castle and live there with a bunch of handsome men was... So that time the motive for the murder was... Fuck's sake. I got it. I got it. Greed. Hell yeah, you got it again! Alright. 10 million buggeroos.
Celeste killed Hifumi and Taka for a little personal gain. Her greed led to all kinds of death and destruction.
I can't remember why she wants us to analyse the theme of all the
Why are you
motives.
making us go through this case by case?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Makoto.
Don't worry, sweet cheeks. Just one more to go.
I'm also incredibly masochistic. That's why I like Junko.
Can you tell me the motive behind crazy-ass Sakura's crazy-ass death?
let's say, something you hold dear being in captivity. But that's back to the first theme.
I have good news.
Yeah.
Dreyfus is back from his holiday.
Oh, sweet.
He can come over and re-roll some shit that we love. He's the ultimate despair.
Right. So the
Oh
theme.
shit! Wrong side. I got that light glaring at me.
Theme for the theme for the third murder was greed.
Yep.
Well,
And the theme for the fourth was Creed. Gotta love Creed.
the motive in the case of Sakura's death, that's something that you hold dear being in captivity, but that goes back to the first theme, so I'm not sure what makes it unique. Oh, and he also asked her, why are we going through this case by case? And she said, patience, it will be revealed in due time.
No, it won't.
No, it won't.
Just because they want to summarise everything because they're paid by the letter.
Oh,
Stuffy in here.
Monokuma's fourth,
Blackmail. What?
Nope, apparently not.
Yes, it was!
It was, yes.
What?
He was blackmailing her.
It was. She's.
So it wants us to be betrayal, which he could not have guaranteed to accommodate for. I say he because Monokuma.
This is stupid.
This theme section is stupid.
Oh my god, there's no air in here. I didn't realise.
In her case, it was betrayal.
Yeah? Do you want me to open the window again?
Yes, please.
Okay, keep going.
Thank you. I'll cover for you.
Fuck it. Themes. What was the next one? She promised me a candy bar, so I killed everyone. Where's my candy bar, Junko?
Oh, she's depression now.
Sakura's betrayal that led to everything that came afterwards.
Depression or bored?
Depression.
Anyway,
Depression,
it looks like you answered all of my questions.
I think it's a
correctly.
Japanese visual metaphor for mushrooms to be growing out of your head if you're depressed for some reason.
It's because you're not a fun guy.
But what's the point? What meaning is there in asking those questions now?
I already made that joke. I was just reminding you because that's what they do in this all the fucking time.
Wait, did you remind me of that? Let's have a flashback to the precise moment when you said that.
Hi, Finn. Fungi. Won't be mushroom for other emotions.
We could.
Yes, I did say that. Remember?
We could do a clever bit of editing in there, and actually,
We could, but we're not going
We're
to.
not going to. No. But we could.
Yeah, we want you to know that we have the fucking power, so don't fuck with us, all right?
These are all pretty standard motives,
Oh,
right?
she's the cute one.
But of course, those aren't
Oh yeah, the queen.
I don't like this one.
the queen personality. I don't like this one either much.
Hello! It's just such a fucking generic voice. All of them are such generic. This is why I'm getting offended. These are fucking generic voices.
And you were happy that she wasn't a generic character.
You mean the real Junko?
The real Junko.
They compel humans.
Everything about this is designed to irritate me. Maybe it's because did you really you didn't really like Junko when you first played through it, did you?
I suppose not. No, I didn't really like her like you did.
Because she was like the best character. Do you remember after that? I was like, there's 13 people still here, and no one is left that I like. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah.
That probably adds to why this is so offensive to me.
Probably. I mean, I have actually liked these characters as I've gone through.
But Junko isn't around long enough for you to really build anything with her.
I suppose not. No.
Whereas with me, it was like I focused in on her because she was the one who was like snarky about it and showed more personality.
It really hasn't helped that you've had a rather grim view of these characters from the beginning.
I'm really.
You eventually warmed up to.
I've warmed to Yashihiro. I always kind of was fond of Byakuya.
Yeah, you always kind of were.
I've warmed to Hina.
Have you?
Oh yeah, she's alright.
Oh.
The thing is, like, I don't like airhead characters. They just get in the way of storytelling.
I like them for some reason. And I
They
don't
just
know why.
stay in their. All they do with their airheadedness is make the story slow down. That's all they ever use them for. But she's been used well a couple of times, so I like her.
Apparently, I just like generic characters because I like
You
the
like
airhead character.
visual. You're a visual novel connoisseur. It
I am, yeah.
Comes with the fucking package.
I'm the ultimate visual novel connoisseur.
You also haven't read Artemis Fowl and the Demonator.
No, I haven't. I like Airhead. I seem to like Airheads. I seem to like this generic crap. I like Tsunderes. I actually
That's
like
rape. They don't like you, Finn. I think you like them because real women act like that, and you want to fuck them as well.
Yeah, real women are cunts to me.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, that's.
If only I were a woman, I'd show you a nice time.
Thank you.
By taking you out for pizza and actually having a nice time.
Yeah.
And fucking on the pizza table.
Yeah, I was gonna say because no other woman has ever done that to me before and then just abandoned me.
I wouldn't abandon you.
Oh,
I'd sit here and play video games with you.
oh, that'd be nice.
We'd be best friends.
But if.
And I mean, like, you know, I might not want to fuck you because we're best friends, but I'd let you touch your boobs. You can touch my boob now. Oh. That feels good. But you left out the left one, so I am left with ultimate despair!
Just as water, air, and food promote growth in living things.
That's such a shit voice. That's so obviously an American.
Just as water, air, and food.
I am an American talking like a British.
Promote growth in living things. The seed of despair also needs nourishment.
Nourishment? Take nourishment from the despair inside of me, Ashen One.
Then touch and take.
Is hope.
Touch and take.
Despair can grow only in the presence of hope. Two sides of the same coin.
Divided by a razor-thin line. Such is hope and despair.
Yes, and life and death, light and dark. We get the idea.
How much longer is this stupid speech?
Hooray!
I've actually warmed towards Byakuya since going through the game with you.
The subject.
I had a new perspective.
You had a new perspective. You made me like the characters I hate, and you've made me slowly dislike more the characters I absolutely love.
Who do you love? All I've done is point out realistically.
Who you have pointed out realistic. Who do I love? Junko, the mastermind Junko.
You can
don't
still love
know
her.
Why?
You can still love her though. I'm just pointing out the
I know
realistic
you
fact
do.
that she's a one-dimensional character.
You are, and I agree.
But that's fine. Look, motherfucker, I love Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, okay, good point.
But that storytelling is objectively shit.
It's terrible. It's fucking horrendous.
What's Final Fantasy X storytelling like?
Why are you asking me? You've played it.
It's
Are you asking me because I look at things objectively?
yes.
It can be very stilted. The pacing is a bit off. It's very slow, that's for sure. It could definitely do with speeding up a bit. Some bits are redundant. Overall, I'd say it is really solid, better than most games.
Okay.
It matches its own slightly it matches its own theme, but its theme is kind of flawed. So the storytelling very full of jargon. They over talk sometimes. A lot of it is redundant. Some of it is character development, but a portion of it is just fucking fluff. But when it comes down to it, when you weigh the negatives and the positives shine beautifully. Like the way they come
the laughing
together.
Scene.
I like the laughing
I
scene.
like the call me a fucking heretic. I like the laughing scene.
I like what the laughing scene stands for.
It's
I
what it
don't like how it
represents,
was
yeah.
executed.
No, I even like how it was executed.
I mean, like, I think what people don't understand is the point was it to be awkward, but they did
Well,
it so well that they just think it was awkward.
It was really awkward.
There are still people to this day making animations about that being shit.
Are they?
Yeah, one came out 2 months ago that I watched.
Fucking hell. Oh.
And
Do you know what else we also like? Metal Gear Solid.
that's a bit of a different one. I'm not...
Did you
Absolutely.
like Metal Gear Solid 3 then?
Okay, you know what? A better example would be Metal Gear Solid 2. I love Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay, right.
It's one of my favourites.
And
Snake Eater is slightly better.
And that still tracks.
I wasn't fond of the first one.
No, me neither.
And I wasn't fond of the fourth one or the fifth one.
I still liked the fourth one, even
The
though
fourth one had really good bits, but the game itself wasn't good.
The fourth game is, by and large, awful. But I like it for some... I really like it. But it is, by and large, crap.
It's mostly... Most of the reason I like it is because it ties in the third one so much. With, like, Eve.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Big Mama.
Yeah, Big Mama.
Big Mama.
Big
It doesn't
Big
really tie...
Monokuma.
The only thing it ties in from the second one is Raiden, and they kind of ruined him.
You think so?
I don't know why. Everyone goes on about, like, oh, Raiden got so much better in, like, Revengeance and 4. No.
No, he didn't.
2 was like, he was really good. He was nice. He was compassionate. He did his best.
They didn't like him because they wanted to play as
They
Snake.
wanted to play a Snake, and that's the only reason they didn't like him. Yes, a lot of it was kind of stilted. Yes, a lot of it was kind of awkward. Excuse me, it's Metal fucking Gear. That's not new. And, like, Raiden is not a better character than Snake by any stretch, by any measurement. But he's not a bad character, and I liked playing as him.
You know who I don't like playing as? Makoto.
He's gotten better as it's gone on, but he's not a good character. I think I've got Stockholm Syndrome with him.
He has, to some extent, developed a personality, but
It's not a good one.
it's not a good one. But it is there. It's tight.
Oh shit, I put it on auto. How do I turn that off?
Press Y. Y.
Are discussing what I'm trying to
X. Fuck no. That one. There we go.
There we go, okay.
It's a tiny personality. It's barely there, but a little bit is
It's
still
just
better
enough
than none.
it's just enough that he's not a 0 out of 10.
Anymore, like
Because the first good few hours of the game, he was a 0 out of 10.
Can you remember when you asked me to try and get across the idea that of just how neutral he was? Can you remember when you asked me, what do you actually know about this guy?
And
He
wets the bed and he has a family.
I've thought back to that question. I actually don't really know anything about him.
What does he like? What's his
I
favourite
don't know.
colour?
I don't know.
What does he want in life?
He doesn't want anything. I don't know what.
Who's his closest friend right now?
I don't know.
It's Kyoko.
I suppose so, yeah.
But like even then, there's such a disconnect between them.
He's so shit.
How do you think he feels about Junko being the bad guy? Because he doesn't.
He's clearly not happy.
He's a bit miffed, isn't he? Okay.
You see, by taking away your memories, I gave you hope.
Who does have a better personality than him? Well, nearly everyone, but his sister. His sister is the...
Is she in Danganronpa 2?
No, in Ultra Despair Girls.
Oh.
She's the protagonist of Ultra Despair Girls.
Is that just about the family fight that could have happened if Junko...
No.
Oh. Die, Makoto's family!
Of course, that hope merely
She's
exists
built... I
to
think she
consume
is
by
Makoto
despair.
done better. Not necessarily right, but done better, because she berates herself for being... She berates herself for being a normal girl a hell of a lot more than Makoto does. She constantly bashes herself for being normal, but she actually does have more personality to her than Makoto does.
Yeah, but you know what I'm like? I know so many girls that berate themselves for like, oh, I'm just a fucking idiot, and it's like, yes, because you do that. The exclusive reason you are so terrible is because you point out how terrible you are.
Yeah,
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
She isn't amazing, but for some reason I still like her because she's quite sassy.
That's always good. Like, every time Makoto has been a little bit sassy, we've both loved it. If that was just a little bit amped up...
Because it's so rare. The Naegi family is sassy.
All you've been able to think about during your time here is how to escape, right?
No.
The mere fact that that's what you want proves I
Actually,
gave you
some
hope.
of them were thinking about impregnating Aoi.
What are you talking about?
If none of you wanted to escape this school, the killings never would have taken place. That is why we took your memories, so that you would have the desire to leave.
The only reason we want to leave is because you took our memories. Is that what you're
You
saying?
just fucking repeated what she said!
Correctamundo!
Which means if we did have our memories, then we wouldn't want to leave. Do I understand that right?
What? Why the hell would having our memories make us not want to leave?
How can you ask that question?
Why the hell would having our memories make
If
us...
you don't remember why you wouldn't want to leave, then why would you say that remembering would definitely make you want to not leave?
Why would remembering why I wouldn't want to leave make me not want to leave?
I'm trying to think of a good, like, example for this, like...
You can't, because
What
that
if,
is
what
so
if I,
stupid.
What if one day I woke up with amnesia and you were dead next to me? I'd feel terrible about it. I'd be like, oh no, Finn! But then what if the reason you were dead is because you tried to kill me and I stabbed you and repressed the memory instantly? Remembering would have justified me killing you.
That really goes to show how stupid he is, because, like,
It's making me sad because he's funny.
This is like time travel, not being able to wrap your head around time travel logic. Like, how can you not get... It's obvious to you and I, but I guess this can be a little bit complicated. But how can you not get that not having the memory of not remembering why you would want to not leave would fuck... Oh my god, I can't even explain it now.
It's just too many fucking words.
Yeah,
but you understand the concept.
It's like, I don't... How could you not understand how it's impossible for you to kill your past self?
You wouldn't know the exact circumstances of your own circumstances because you don't remember them. So it is by nature that you do not know why you would want to stay.
So how
but
can
you did?
So how can you sound so sure that you wouldn't want to leave?
Because your disposition now is completely different to how it was when you... in the time you didn't remember. What if past you knew that if he left he would die?
Exactly. How can you think it's possible for you to kill your past self? If you tried to kill your past self, then your past self knew that this was... saw you from the future. And if you survived your... If you, all those years ago, survived your future self trying to kill you, that means it always happened.
Also, it's completely impossible to kill yourself or anyone in the past.
Oh, yeah, because it means it already happened.
The fact that we're here right now justifies that time exists as this and cannot be changed.
If someone from the future comes to your timeline and tries to kill you, just stand still, because it will be impossible. Because you can't change time.
And if something's wrong, well, you're fucking dead. So who cares?
But it's not enough.
Like if time travel.
If they do kill you, then
they wouldn't have killed you.
They wouldn't have killed you. No.
So then they would have killed you.
No,
because
but
a paradox can't exist because if time travel existed, paradoxes could not exist.
No, they couldn't.
It'd be impossible.
If they travel back in time to kill you, then you were never alive for them to want to travel back in time to kill you,
yes.
So they couldn't have killed you, so it never would have happened.
Which means it has to be that they could never have done it in the first place.
They've tried, sure as hell they can try, but they won't succeed.
So if time travel were to be invented, then they would never be able to succeed in doing anything in the past, because that would change what's already happened.
Yeah.
Unless it's an event that already happened with them changing it. Like, let's say Hitler died under mysterious circumstances, right? Let's say in the middle of the war he suddenly vanished and no one knew what happened to him. Mm-hmm. Well, then it would be justifiable that someone went back in time and killed him from the future. But the fact that we know that Hitler went into a bunker and shot himself in the face means that no one could kill Hitler before then. Because that isn't, like, it's now...
Because that's what's happened.
It has happened. And it will always have happened. Because if we changed that, we would not exist in this world we are currently living in. It would be impossible, because this world exists right now, and it always will have existed right now. It is impossible to change that.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you could potentially change it by having a time machine. Something would stop you. A bird shit would land in your eye.
A truck would hit you as you tried to
pull
the
trigger. A bird would land on your eye.
A truck would land on your eye.
And that's not me saying the universe would put these things there to stop you. I'm saying that you would be stopped because already happened.
Yeah, because of natural things that stopped you.
Because it would be impossible for you to succeed. Just by nature.
You would have...
Anyway, enough about time travel. This is completely irrelevant now.
Yeah, it is now. What are we talking about?
Crazy Eddie slashing his prices and passing the savings on to you. Let me give you a hint.
Another one.
Really?
Crazy Eddie slashing his, but that had nothing to do with what she said after.
No, it's so random. Look at me, lol random. I'm doing a duck face in a selfie with a filter over it. I'm so wacky.
You know what? Girls who say to me, "Oh, I'm so random." Okay, what's the most random thing you've done? You know, I just do crazy shit. Yeah, like what? Well, I stayed up all night once. I've punched an octopus. And I don't go around saying how random I am. I've done the most random fucking thing you can bring up in conversation. And I've actually fucking done it. They just want to seem interesting and not normal, you know? It fucking irritates me.
Okie dokie. Like they say, seeing is believing.
Which she does. But she does do random things, but she doesn't care that she does it. She doesn't bring attention to the fact that she does it, and it's breaking that norm ever so slightly, which is what makes me appeal more towards her.
Yeah, but it's just her attitude. She has the attitude of one of those fake random people. Look at me, I'm changing my personality. Aren't I weird?
But she isn't one of those fake random people.
This is a visual novel. If she were a real person, that might actually be intriguing to me. But the fact of the matter is, people like that don't exist in real life.
Unfortunately not.
Because that's stupid. Because even crazy people think that they're justified.
Have we found someone who is even more impossible to exist as a real human being than Toko?
Than Makoto.
Could Makoto exist as a real human being?
Yeah, he does exist.
Does he?
He's every motherfucker who's neutral about everything. He's every single person who, if you say, what do you like more, this or this? They'll say, I like both of them.
Kira. Reminds me of Kira.
Kira can feel strongly about things.
Fuck. Okay, no.
Like, you know what, you know.
Nobody is as neutral as and boring and as...
I don't want to name anyone because they'll get offended, but I know people who literally, no matter what you ask them, they will always say, I like both, or I can't decide, or they'll always say that. That's Makoto.
Right, okay.
Fucking fence sitters.
Okay, so is there anybody...
What do you like more, red or blue? I haven't really thought about it. I like both of them. Motherfucker, it's a really easy question. Even if you don't know the answer, just say one of them.
Is there anybody who can... do you know anybody who... Like Toko? Can Toko exist as a real human being?
Oh, yeah.
Can this Junko exist as a real human being?
No, because it doesn't follow any logic. What people like Makoto do is they try not to offend anyone by having opinions. They're like obviously what's happened to them is they've said, like, I like this, and people said, you're fucking wrong! Your subjective opinion is wrong! And they've gotten really, secluded, not secluded, but introverted about it.
Self-conscious about it.
And people like Toko are just people who, like, they believe themselves to be worse than normal to justify bad things that happen to them or whatever. You know, like, bad things have happened to me and it'd be really easy for me to say, maybe I'm just a shit person and no one likes me. I had a girlfriend like that. You remember Catherine?
No.
Okay, so Catherine, what she would do, and I don't mind talking about this because I only said Catherine and that's not even her name. What she would do is, like, she would apologise a lot for no reason.
Oh, God.
You know those ones, yeah? So it's like, it's the word isn't implisive, it's impulsive. Oh, I'm sorry. And it'd be like, it's okay. No, I'm so stupid. Why are you even with me? I'm such an idiot. You deserve better.
Yes, I do.
Hey,
yes, I
really do. You don't need to apologise that much. No, I'm stupid. Oh, now I'm apologising too much. I'm sorry. Oh, I did it again. I'm the worst. What do you even see in me? And it's like
they do it on... It sounds
it's
like
they're
doing it on purpose.
Trying to buy sympathy from you, you know?
It's like they're trying to do it on purpose.
Toko. That's why I hate Toko. And Toko isn't necessarily a bad character, because she's believable. What's bad about her is she's shit. She's a fucking horrible person.
It's because I would hate her if she's a real human being that I hate
No, but
her.
she's very realistic. As a character, she's great. As a person, she's fucking horrible.
No.
I mean, she's executed poorly, but she's believable.
We need to hurry this up because look how long we've been recording for.
Just over an hour.
So something really good.
I don't want to just stop.
Now are you interested in what I have to say? You want to see what's out there?
It's turned into a nobcast.
I want to see too. See your faces sink into despair.
This really doesn't show off well what is actually out there.
This doesn't sound like Monokuma.
Open sesame! Behold, the world beyond.
Really drawing this out.
Here we go.
Ah!
I'm skipping through it. I can't even see it.
Basically, there are shitloads of people running all over the world, destroying shit for the sake of it.
For the sake of it?
Well, for the sake of despair.
So the ultimate despair people, there's loads of them.
Not necessarily. They have just managed to influence people to their cause. So, Ultimate Despair is the core group of people that have managed to convince this cult of despair followers to cause this world-ending apocalypse. Well, this apocalypse of
Rather
despair
large proportions.
Yeah, rather large proportions. All over the world. And I like this revelation because imagine if someone like, I don't know, Celestia did get away with it and then she walked outside. Oh shit! Everything is dead.
The despair.
The despair that they would feel.
Even winning is losing.
Yep.
That is genius.
That's clever.
And it's silly enough. If there was no Junko, if it was just Monokuma, this would be perfect. Because
but you would need
who else is crazy enough to have their face put on all these monuments, to have a cult of people wearing a head shaped like theirs?
But you would.
It's just crazy enough to be Monokuma, but then it hits you about that, the black and walks free and, well, shit, despair.
Yeah.
That fits him like a glove.
But you would feel like you weren't getting any closure if you didn't find out who it was that was controlling him.
Like I said, alter ego. It doesn't have to be alter ego specifically, but they could have made their own type of... like, I say they. What if alter ego... No, sorry, Chihiro was accidentally the mastermind? What if Chihiro had made a program that became so self-aware and so human that it decided despair was the best... Like, it's one of them, like, the robots are taking over and they've deemed humans unworthy. What if it was just a robot who was like, wow, humans are shit and they should suffer for all the horrible things they've done? And like this program has, like, obviously taken over a factory, created itself a body, created itself into Monokuma, made many of them, taken over the school, and is now, because it's a fucking genius computer, convincing people on a very individual level, learning about each individual person, playing into their weaknesses to convince everyone to follow it. So now millions of people are following this machine, this program.
That's a good idea.
But instead we've got some split personality girl.
Yeah.
Also, have you noticed how I have such a way with words that I can paint her as shit just by being dismissive? I'm a master manipulator.
The ultimate manipulator!
You see, that's just degrading. Like, with everything she says, you just come up with some snarky thing to shoot it down with.
Would have been cooler if you were an AI.
You could do that with anything.
But I have a point, though. The thing is, you agree.
Yeah. Still like her.
Oh yeah, you can. But my idea is better.
That world is locked away within the memories
That Chihiro theory would have been so much better.
If you can't remember, please just try. Do your best to try.
Imagine if Sayaka actually won and she went out like, oh, I'm gonna go find my friends. Fuck.
Better kick your brain in the ass, cause it's up to that gray lump whether you live or die. I don't remember ain't a fucking excuse no more, cause now it's time.
That was never an excuse. They didn't know that they
didn't even
remember.
they didn't even believe that that they fucking one of these shit.
Oh, input. Genocide Jack's memory. Wait.
Yeah.
Come on, bitches. Remember.
If they don't share memories.
Yeah.
And Genocide Jack was present in the photo, she would remember everything.
Yeah.
Because the psychologist couldn't fucking get both.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Instantly. Fucking instantly.
You want us to remember or whatever, but when it comes
Can
to
I not stand
the
next to her?
video you showed us, I don't understand a damn thing.
What's the meaning of the footage we saw? Is this another one of your practical jokes?
I mean, you're telling us to remember, but what am I supposed to be remembering?
Nobody can remember anything.
Yeah! No! You of all people should
I
know!
am right!
Actually, she might remember.
Who might remember?
The other token. Genocide Jack. What? The two of
Come
them share
here.
certain kinds of knowledge, but their memories are.
I'm way back into it now already. Now that we're ignoring fucking retard over there.
If their memories are separate, then even if one personality's forgotten, there's a chance the other may still have
This is
those
all because you
memories.
said about the psychologist, by the way. If I didn't know that, I might not come to the conclusion so far.
Well, you wouldn't have come to the conclusion that memory written on one of the truth
No,
bullets.
I know, but it like really helped it snap in the perfect way, because a psychologist would deal with one person, right? If
Yeah.
it was amnesia, it would have been both of them.
I don't even think the writers knew by this point they came up with the ultimate psychologist. Or whatever he's fucking... What was he? I don't know.
Absolutely not. That'd be like forfeiting my entire identity.
So, you've done it before.
Yeah.
Toko,
You've done it
you're the
of
only
your own
one we can
volition.
rely on now.
We have to rely on Toko.
Da-da-da! It's me, your friendly neighborhood serial killer.
Oh no, is that Junko? She's better than me.
Boy, she just gave in like it was nothing.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Junko,
I want
can you
to have
stop
it
that?
answered immediately. Do you know anything about this video?
Huh? What video?
The video that's playing right
Well,
now.
she's changed.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, I'm the mastermind.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
That's enough! Just look at the stupid screen.
Why is she bored now?
Because she's bored. She was bored of playing the last personality.
Why don't she just be herself?
Because I can't remember what myself is like.
It's been so long.
Aye, aye. Roger, you got it, Captain.
Seems normal. What? You mean you guys didn't know about this? I thought we were here for fun. I thought we were here to stay safe.
I don't have all the details, but of course it does.
Then you remember all the stuff
Could you
it's
just
showing?
asked her any fucking time?
Well, you never asked.
Of course I do.
So you didn't lose your memory after all.
Of course I didn't.
Then why didn't you say something?
Nobody
earlier?
You
asked.
never
I
asked.
only answer questions when someone bothers to ask me. I'm the quiet type, you know.
Such a better fucking villain!
Oh my god, she's the worst liar in the
She's
world.
not lying.
Not lying.
More importantly, if you really do remember, what is it?
Oh, it's only the single most tragic, most despair-inducing event in the world.
Remember the tragedy?
The tragedy?
It was the day that they convinced a whole bunch of people to become cultists and go around and do a bunch of shit.
Right, I don't think this is going to be a spoiler, so I'm just going to fucking tell you.
I'm about to fucking...
No, you're not, bro.
Oh.
Just answer the question. What happened
Are
out
you?
there?
Is it a
Well, I can't
spoiler?
really say if it happened or if it's still happening. But it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
That doesn't sound that bad coming from her, but still.
Why is that phrase coming up now?
Because it's all because of that event.
Come on!
What is? Are you serious? I'm talking about the way the world is now.
How is the world? What is it now? Tell us!
Oh, destroyed.
Destroyed?
But what does that mean?
Tell us everything you know.
Copy that, darling. Okay, so this big, awful, tragic event, they started just calling it the tragedy, happened to be
What's happened?
so big and so...
What happened?
I guess you could say what happened was man-made.
But what was
Okay,
it?
no, that's progress. It's okay. Blood pressure, Finn. Blood pressure.
But it was more on the level of a... Either way, there's no doubt that
Okay.
Fucking, I hate this.
the world turned out the way it did, and that's that.
Right, fuck this shit. Okay, so you know the classroom filled with dead bodies. That was the first killing game. Right. And they and then this eventually got out.
That's when I figured out there were more than one killing game.
Yeah,
just
that was the
remember.
first killing game that Junko orchestrated. The school tried to cover it.
Did she just do it while being a student?
Yeah. The school tried to cover it. It eventually got out. She did some more things that you're not meant to know about. It eventually got out. The students started rioting.
but because of what and then people saw this rioting and thought that it was so atrocious and the school hadn't done this, that they started rioting, and then other people saw those riots and they started rioting, and so it was just an infectious disease of rioting that eventually spread throughout the entire world. And to the point where humans, by their own hand, destroyed the world they lived in.
Completely?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you've seen those people wearing helmets and smashing cars and burning buildings. That's kind of sort of everywhere now.
Can I have some Coke?
Yes. Right. That's what the tragedy is. Better explain. That's
so it's not a single event. It was just the way the world changed and got ruined.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight. And there were a lot of other factors that I've left out.
So it was like a droplet hitting some water and the ripples.
It rippled, yes. Yeah. It was a chain reaction of events. That's not much, is it?
Oh.
Yeah, I thought. Fuck it. Right. Better explained than what any of these fucking idiots could have explained it to. And you're not really going to know all of what I've just told you until Danganronpa 2.
Ugh.
Yes.
Is there a point to that, or is it just? That
I've left out bits.
Good. You've left out the stuff that I need to be obscured.
Yes.
That's
okay.
All there is to it? Come on, there wasn't a single concrete description in there.
And there never will be.
It just so happens I don't know any of the specifics. Miss
And
Marosa,
that's why the headmaster wanted to keep them in school.
You ask her?
Because he saw this coming.
Yep, he wanted to protect them, and then he sealed them inside, along with Junko and Mukuro. But by then she had already laid her plan, and so she killed the headmaster, took over the school, wiped their memories, and the rest is history.
We already did, and she didn't know anything. That's why we're asking you.
I couldn't live up to Master's expectations! To die! This is the true tragedy!
Okay,
This is the
okay,
tragedy.
Enough of your little lover's quarrel.
Oh look, an inkling of personality.
Whatever happened, it doesn't matter at this exact point in time, right?
Yes.
The end justifies the means.
No.
Everything
I've
serves
not
the
heard that
outcome.
said since
In
Ace
other
Attorney.
words,
I say it from time to time.
Do
the
you?
world
Yeah.
has ended.
That the end justifies the means was a saying. It was a saying in one of the Ace Attorney cases in Dual Destinies. Like hope and despair is the catchphrase for this game.
It's the world.
So the theme in Dual Destinies was the Dark Age of the
There's
law
no
and
need
how
to panic.
everybody was corrupt, and the end justifies the
living
means
person will
was
be
the
dead in 100
justification
years
for
anyway.
that.
So the world ending isn't that big a deal.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being ridiculous.
Well, as long as we're being ridiculous. I have another ridiculous story to tell. It's the story of the Tagami Corporation, which has given Byakuya's life all its meaning.
Are they behind it as well? Did they?
Let's find out.
What? What did you say?
I'm glad to see you took the bait.
Wow, I brought up something relevant to you, and you want to know about it. Gotcha.
Into it like a middle-aged secretary. at
Still
a-
going on about it. All right, okay.
So, what do you think happened to the Togami family?
I've only got 2 minutes 18 to figure this one out. Do you have any clues? Do you have any hints?
There's a wrong answer.
Tell me something I don't know, damn it!
Let's just sit here for exactly 2 minutes.
You know what? I am the ultimate lucky student. I'll just go that one. Hooray! Only had a 1 in 4 million chance of getting it right, but I'm the ultimate lucky student.
But I didn't say anything yet.
That's lucky.
I just got so fucking bored waiting, I couldn't help it.
Hey, it was a hard question,
To me,
okay?
is that a sliver of personality?
No. This is just that personality, the angry one. See, when the sad one is sassy, that's personality. When the angry one calms down, that's personality. This is just being one-dimensional again.
Okay.
Even if you're wrong, eventually you'll figure it out, right? Till then, you're just going in circles.
Don't ask me hard questions and then mock me for not knowing the answer.
Surprised you didn't say going in fucking circles.
You get the right answer. Pretty innovative, don't you think?
But do you think it might be a disease? Getting bored so easy, I mean.
Byakuyu's the only Tagami left.
Might be.
Why are you telling me that?
Because the Takami Corporation fell. So.
Byakuya's entire lineage has been totally annihilated.
Fucking hell, he was like the best thing he could have done.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
I can confirm that his entire family has died. Even the distant relatives. The Tagami name has perished.
He's alive.
Stop with these idiotic jokes.
Mommy! Daddy!
With such a
My 52 brothers and sisters!
Oh wait, I killed them!
I didn't kill them.
divine punishment.
They were dead to the Tagami name.
Same difference.
Must learn your place.
So it is basically dead to
No
them.
longer the ultimate affluent
Actually, he
progeny.
still is. He just
Yeah.
doesn't have any family.
He still has the inheritance to this massive family and corporation. Still
Unless
rightfully
they've all
is.
gone bankrupt as well. But even then, he could make the money back because he's the ultimate affluent prodigy.
Yeah, he would know how.
They couldn't possibly be.
Oh yeah, $10 million would have been basically useless in the outside world. Money pretty much has no value. Finally, I
use these little Monokuma coins to buy everything. Shit, I'm loaded. Later, fuckers.
And that's the end of the whole game.
Hell, there is no world anymore, remember? It got fucked a full year ago.
Hold on. That doesn't make any sense.
If it makes sense, can I give you a nickel back?
There's no way that happened a year ago.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, we only came to this school.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Really?
Are you that
Celebrating
fucking
world
simple?
ending event happened a year
You're
ago.
so stupid.
Then how do you explain the totally normal world we were living in until then?
Why'd they zoom in then?
Oh.
That just takes away from the niceness around it.
I suppose it does, yeah.
It's just 'cause they wanted to reuse the fucking animation.
Have you considered the possibility that you're mistaken about that?
Mistaken.
Well, if
Bacon.
I'm understanding you right, it sounds like you think the tragedy happened a year before you arrived here.
Well, yeah. I mean, like he said, we just got
Boy,
here a
you're
few
all
weeks
so
ago.
stupid.
Guess I better shoot a truth bullet so that they all stop being stupid.
Yeah.
Ooh, I get it. You're saying that what happened 2 years ago actually happened more recently, right?
2 years ago?
More than 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, you guys all
Oh.
started attending Hope's Peak Academy 2 years ago.
So they've actually been locked away in the school for a year.
Two.
No, they started attending Hope's Peak Academy 2 years ago. They had a year of learning
Regular shit.
regular shit.
They locked the doors a year ago,
And they
and
locked
this
the-
happened a
and then
few
the-
weeks ago.
Yes.
I understand why you'd have trouble accepting it, but in the end, you can't deny the
We
truth.
can if we don't know the fucking facts.
Yeah, we
And
can.
the truth
It's
is,
very easy.
Well, we do, but these guys clearly fucking can't figure it
I'm
out.
talking from their
and
perspective.
you
I'm
may as
trying
well
to
believe
sympathise with
yourself
the poor
up to that.
dears.
So, you must surely understand all the hints I've given you so
Yes.
far, right?
We
You
still
are betting a lot on
still
Yashihiro
haven't
here.
fucking explained what the point was of analysing the themes of all the
What
motives.
I took from you.
Come now, answer us. Answer with all your heart and soul.
It's not. She's trying to use the royal way of referring to herself, saying us.
Yeah.
That's not. That's the psychopath way. You don't say us when you refer to yourself as the
You
queen.
do if you're... Yeah, you do.
You don't say us in that context. I suppose.
I'm not
How are
sure.
we supposed to answer?
Say
I
one,
do know
one
of-
requires an answer.
I do know of some royalty that refers to themselves as us. I mean, Valkyria Chronicles seems to think that.
I mean, like Luna referred to herself as we, but that's the royal we, not the royal us. Us is not a word they use in royalty. They use we and they use one.
Ah, well, she doesn't care.
Shut the fuck up. There is an art to not caring.
You were either gonna say "shut the fuck up" or "fuck, you got me there" in a very
Well, no,
sarcastic
but
way.
There is an art to not caring, and to do that, you have to care a lot.
Yeah.
It's like the art to looking like you've got messy hair is a lot of effort.
Mm.
The art to being funny is to take it seriously.
Takes a lot of care to show no care at all.
Exactly, that's what I said the first time.
It was, wasn't it?
Fuck a genius.
I'm just repeating what you said like they do.
Like they do.
Like we do.
We do?
We do.
Oh, we do.
It's Pokemon.
We do.
We do, I choose
We
you.
do, we do.
Lives at Hope's Peak.
The entire past.
I don't remember my birth.
Who am I?
I don't remember my birth.
If we accept that
What's
what
my
you
name
say
again?
is true, then we've all lost our memories of the last 2 years after coming to this school.
Finally.
Nope, no. No. I mean,
That was really well
no matter
delivered.
what anyone says,
What is?
Yeah. Nope. No.
Another correct answer. Well done, peasant.
Yeah, this was poorly delivered.
Seriously? This routine again?
We've lost 2 years worth of memories?
That would actually be quite horrific to discover.
It would to me. I'd be like, wait, so I'm 21?
Holy
Wait,
shit!
so I'm 29?
Yeah, I think that's what.
Wait, so I'm 32?
That's what Yasuhiro's fucking
That's right. You've already spent 2
attitude
full
is.
years
Wait, so I'm 23?
Wait, I'm 95? I didn't do math.
Well, a lot of these guys are going to be 20
period
then,
of
and
time
legal,
is precisely what
They were
you've
legal anyway.
forgotten.
I suppose.
By force. Or by cunning.
I don't remember the
We are Monac.
Oh, we should do that now
Yeah.
together.
We are Monokuma.
Monomonokuma
Oh,
Kuma.
yeah, sorry.
We are Monomonokuma Kuma.
And we shall bring you the ultimate despair.
Despair. Sorry.
Should we say that?
That's not
Go on.
possible.
We are Come on, Monokuma. We are Monomonokuma Kuma, and we will bring you the ultimate despair.
Do you know the words to the Da Vinci's Notebook?
No.
Whenever life gets you down, keeps you wearing a frown. And the gravy train has left you behind. And
I can't do any more of that.
I take a look at my enormous penis, and my troubles start melting away. Ba-dum-bum. Here's our bass singer. He's Monobuma.
Bottom bum.
I am Monokuma. I will bring you the ultimate despair. What am I doing?
2 years worth of memories. I could never lose something like that.
We've been living here for 2 years?
Oh, I know.
Hell no! That's
Keep looking for the
impossible.
Keep looking for the bullets.
I mean, I haven't gone to any awesome school events or anything.
Okay.
Heck, I've never even gone to a single class.
That's the weak spot. That's the weak spot.
Plus, if 2 years have passed, how freaking old am
Lock a
I?
notebook, I think, because the notebook was the thing that Yasuhira's been
Yeah.
using.
Everyone's so...
Pocketbook and notebook really throw me off.
2 years? I could never lose...
We've been living here for hell no.
Okay, here we go.
I
Next
mean,
one.
I haven't gone to any awesome school events or anything.
It's gonna cover it. It's gonna cover it.
To a single... No.
Yeah! Fucking shot you in the heart, you fucking Afro bitch! You give intelligence a bad name.
I'd like you to take a look at this notebook right here.
Where? Would you take a picture of it?
Huh? Hey, why is my name written on it?
I found it in the locker room on the 2nd floor. If you
that?
could you take a look inside?
I recognise it.
Yeah, me too.
What is it?
It's some kind of countdown theme. Oh, you know what's a better one?
Sure,
Do
whatever.
do 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 do
This is absolutely my handwriting.
It's so immaculate.
But how is this? I don't remember ever writing in this thing. No way.
It looks like you actually did
I wonder if
attend
anyone else
class
dies.
here at Hope's Peak. But somehow,
Let's keep playing and find
I
out.
forgot all about it.
Yes.
Lies! It's all one big lie!
Somebody does die.
Other than Junko.
No. Oh. Okay, never mind. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But there's
When it becomes
also
relevant.
no explanation for this pocketbook.
And whose pocketbook is that?
It's mine. And the handwriting inside is also mine. There's no doubt about it. But just like Hiro, I have no memory of ever writing in it.
And the reason for that is the 2 years,
2 years
of
of missing
memories.
memories. A sword-based sneak attack.
All the evidence. Do you have
A sword-based memory attack. A memory-based sword attack.
Oh, I know, because we don't actually know what was used to take our memories away.
A Deus Ex memory attack.
Isn't it just so desperately dark? The mystery
Motherfucker.
goddamn funeral in here. Shit, man, I've never been to a funeral. Hell yes!
Really?
All the people you've killed.
2 years of school life. How many moments of blossoming youth have you missed out on?
7. Probably accurate knowing me.
How many fun classes? How many school
0.
events?
Few?
This was your chance to build lasting friendships,
I
right?
think we've got those.
Well, I killed most of mine.
And on top of that, something tragically sad happened 1 year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in
You're
human history.
still not going to tell us what it was.
Right before everyone's eyes, the world came crashing down. You absorbed all that despair, but then you forgot it all. And once you'd forgotten, you made the choice
You know,
to subject yourselves to this killing
people
thing.
who aren't as clever as us,
And there's one other thing.
people who aren't as
To be
clever as
even
us
more
are going to
precise,
soak this
the
up and
memories
think
you
it's the
all
greatest
lost
shit in
were-
the world because it sounds clever,
Kingdom Hearts.
like Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
Heart, darkness. Wow, this speaks to my soul.
It's since it is explained over the course of several hours, like hope and despair.
All you have to do is use long words and sound like you know what you're talking about, and then stupid enough people will believe you. Trust me, I know.
Hope and despair being established as such important key factors has been established over the course of the entire game.
So now mentioning it a lot makes them sound really clever. Yeah, it's a psychological thing, like with the word heart in Kingdom Hearts.
But this final confrontation, stupid people, like not quite a few people who play this, I've interacted with the community, are gonna soak this up like a sponge and think that it's so clever.
I mean, like, it's not stupid, but it's
No.
like, it's just... I
still do like the
Desperately fucking boring!
I still do like that she is a villain with no goals and only means, and she just wants to spare. That is what I like. That is what
I
love the
like...
most.
You know what the best thing about the villain is?
This villain.
Yeah.
The best thing about her.
Well, the best thing
With
about
you,
like,
I imagine
the
very.
villains.
With you, I imagine very little.
The best thing about her has nothing to fucking do with her. The best thing about her is are the consequences of her actions actually having a lasting impact on the world. Because the world is fucked.
She's won, basically.
Yes.
She's got what she's wanted.
Well, not exactly, because she's now bored. But what I really like is that the world is like actually suffering lasting damage. So the best thing about her is that her actions have had consequences. Because in Dragon Ball, it's like we got the Dragon Balls, we wish everyone back. Or like with other shows, it's like, oh, but we managed to protect All Might's secret or whatever, you know. This has lasting
Do you
impacts.
remember me telling you about Mage?
Yes.
And how I planned like a 6-book series, and the first 3 books were going to follow a protagonist who's purposely going to be generic and basically a Jesus figure, and the last 3 were going to be basically his successor. At the end of book 3, the generic protagonist was going to get to the final antagonist, try and defeat him, and just get fucking stomped on and killed. And then the antagonist would have won, thrown the world into an apocalypse like he wanted, and then the next book, I'm not sure it's going to be 3, but the next book was going to be his successor, who actually eventually manages to defeat him by not having
in this apocalyptic world.
In this apocalyptic world, but it still has a lingering effect. The world is still in a complete apocalyptic state for the next several hundred years. That was my idea, because I thought it was just different.
That does sound really good if you can execute it well. Emphasis.
Yeah. With new ideas like that that are trying to do something different, you gotta make sure you execute it well.
Wait, what is this?
Oh,
I got it!
yeah.
Okay, cool.
The moment I lost my memories. think of any time
That
other
day
than-
that I remember was actually 2 years ago. We fucking drew this at the beginning. It was at the beginning of the game. We're gonna use it a second time.
Main hall.
They're not gonna
Passed
ever
out,
use one CG
I was
once.
overcome with a strange sensation.
Very strange.
Wow, you still have enough spirit to keep on talking, huh?
Yeah.
So I don't know much about the details, but it seems like everyone remembers passing out, right? And your sense of time got all messed up because of the memory loss after that? I guess it must have been something like that.
After I passed out, I woke up in a
I looked up
classroom
Rule 34 for
with
this
my
game
head
before I
on a
finished it,
desk.
and I was like, huh, people are sure drawing a lot of Junko.
With Monokuma.
People are drawing a lot of Junko, and she only showed up for like 5 minutes. I wonder what that's about.
I assume not much
Luckily,
time
I
had
didn't.
passed since I collapsed in the main hall.
I looked for specific characters who had died.
Good idea.
Well, I mean, I did look for Junko as well. What struck me is they kept drawing her with Monokuma. But, like, I didn't pay any attention to it, because I haven't looked for it since we started playing this months ago.
Did you notice the? She would have had Monokuma hairbands probably. No,
Didn't pay that much attention.
Okay.
Look, dude, I was looking for some stuff to get my rocks off. She could have been wearing whatever the fuck she wanted in her hair, and I wouldn't have noticed.
Unless it was semen.
But instead, 2 whole years
I like her
have gone
design.
by.
Her generic design, not
The
the
reason it felt
not
so
any one
short
particular
was because
personality design.
Our memories of the time in between had been completely
Her
removed.
personality designs are good, but they're still generic to what they're trying to be generic to. And it's like pointing out your problems doesn't fucking fix them.
You got it, honey. 2 years of memory.
Except this,
You
this
can-
looks like shit.
You can rub shit on yourself to make an ironic statement, but you still smell like shit.
You still won't get invited to parties.
Everyone met for the first time. It wasn't actually for the first time.
Was that meant to be a fucking revelation?
Unaware of this fact,
We lost our memory, so the first time we met wasn't actually the first time we met. That 2 and 2 is not a difficult equation.
But by that point, we'd already spent 2 years together at
That's
the
rough.
school.
Yeah, that is
If
rough.
they get their memories back, they're gonna feel so fucking guilty for all their friends who died.
That's what those photos reveal.
For me, being in like a class with a bunch of people I've never met before in a killing game, and then loads of them end up dying, and then I remember they'd been my
And then-
best
yeah.
friends for 2 fucking years. Like, what if I didn't remember you and you died and I didn't care because it's like, I don't know who the fuck he was.
And then you got all the memories back of everything that we've done for the last 15 years.
He said I wasn't a good voice actor.
Are you still on that?
I thought it'd be funny to bring back up. Shut up.
That's what they reveal. You were all such close friends.
Makoto and Sayaka probably
2
even
years
fucked.
Together, and then you
No,
started
actually.
killing each other.
Maybe Makoto had a personality. Maybe this is why he's boring. The mind wipe it changed
He
him.
forgot his
Wait,
personality.
no, he was boring before that, wasn't he?
was,
And
yeah.
it was also you could escape into a world that's already been annihilated.
And I do like that.
What a terribly tragic tale. Even if
Stop
you
ruining
left now, there's nothing you could
Please
do
stop
to
ruining
fix
it.
Look how sad it is.
Look how sad it could have been.
Yeah, you all fucking, your audience is too stupid to realize this.
I love you all so much.
Kill yourself.
Since your school life here began, I thought about you constantly. It's only natural that I would fall.
Kill
in love.
yourself.
So, since I love
Oh, don't
you
worry,
guys
that's
so
coming
much,
later.
I'll tell you all.
No!
I came up with this ultimate despair. Our plan to bring despair to all mankind.
I don't want to hear it. Actually, I don't care about
No,
you.
leave it to my some of the best bits of a villain are when you leave them to interpretation. Like,
Oh look, 5 times now.
no, this is 6, I think. Some of the best characters come from what you believe them to have, like your own
Solaire.
personal headcanon. Like Solaire. Like some of the best characters pop from your own personal headcanon for them. Let me
I do
imagine.
I like there to be like just enough that they got structure
Yeah.
around their person, but not enough that you can figure them
Like-
out completely because of what they told you.
You planted your own headcanon onto Mondo, and that's why you ended up liking him a lot.
Did I?
Well, you kind of did. Like you elaborated on the themes that it was trying to present to your own personal
Did
self.
I?
Yeah, you did.
What did I say?
Like you were like, oh, he was he felt so weak when he was meant to be when he's meant to.
Oh
be
yes,
superior
about his
and-
insecurities.
Yeah, about his insecurities. That was it.
I mean, that was probably right. That's what the writers probably
Yeah,
intended. But
yeah,
but like
that you
they don't explain that about him.
No,
It's
but
just
you elaborate
shown
on it
through
for
his
yourself.
action. He does touch upon it in the anime. They explain it way better. But no, it does look like he attacked Chihiro because of his own insecurity about himself. Because Chihiro, this tiny little guy, this poor little dweeb, is stronger than him as a person, and that eats him away inside.
They gave you the ingredients to come to that. They gave you.
They
the
didn't
structure.
say, you see, I felt this way because...
I just saw him and I felt so insecure about myself. I decided to kill him out of impulse.
Yeah, instead he kind of said it like he was very vague about his explanation of his motive.
And that's good. That is good because you
Just
managed to
vague enough.
come up with it yourself. So let me come up with the rest of this for myself, please. What was the points and the themes for the motives? I still don't get that to this day.
But that couldn't last forever, of course.
Neither can this
We
game.
only made it through that first year.
You say that.
All things must come to an end.
Because
Monokuma
after
said it
that,
himself.
an event
I'm holding on to
unfolded
that. I'm
brought a
hoping to
soul-crushing
hold on to
despair
that.
into all of humanity. The biggest, most awful. All too soon, the world's. And as you can imagine, the tragedy even made its way here, leading to the extermination of most of the students.
It started here.
What?
Yeah, it
Are
didn't start
you?
here.
Hmm? What do you mean?
I don't know if
The
they'd
most
figured that
tragic
out by this
event in
point.
human history. And I can't believe it's all because of just you and Mukuro. Was it some kind of organization? An angry mob? An incredibly motivated
We don't know
family?
because you're not explaining
You have
it.
a point. If I had to describe it, I'd say it was none of those. How can I put it? It was more of an
Oh wow, that's gonna
ideological
fucking...
thing.
The fucking stupid people are gonna
Yeah.
eat up that intelligence.
Oh my god, what an incredible philosophy!
Maybe it was none of them. Maybe it was ideology.
Oh,
That's clever!
that is so clever.
Saying it was none of the things that the smart one suggested and saying it was ideological, which is a long word. I've heard of ideologies. It's what smart people have.
Despair is contagious, you know.
Oh, that's such a clever thing to
It's
say.
a natural phenomenon. Everyone
I love
is
this
capable
scene,
of
by the
it.
way.
And now the entire world has fallen into despair.
Was that sarcasm?
I love how I've seen it so many times.
Good.
I can never get enough of these men being Monokumas.
I'm glad you like it because we've seen
In
it.
other words, if you see despair
Even
as
she
the
says
enemy,
it.
Fuck
then
you.
your
I'm having
enemy
deja vu.
is the world
Are you?
itself.
I'm having really weird deja vu.
Okay.
This is freaking me out. How?
You've had your memory wiped!
No, but I recognize her.
Right.
And then you were here. I'm serious.
Deja vu's a weird thing.
Ah!
I just
Do you remember Wizards of Waverly Place?
Oh, never heard of it.
It was a show on the Disney Channel. It was absolute crap.
Oh, in that case, no.
It was
No,
absolute.
I don't watch
It
Disney.
was absolute crap. But, it was along with the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and That's So Raven. It was that kind of show. But it was a bunch of wizard teenagers. But they were being taught a spell that allowed them to turn back time by about 10 seconds. And they asked, so what happens when the people re-experience of what they've already experienced? And the teacher explains to him, well, the wizards will actually know that the spell has been cast, but normal people will just get deja vu. So, oh, that's quite clever.
But then everyone would get deja vu at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a plot hole bigger than your ass on a Tuesday night.
The members of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy were the only ones left.
And then something super neat happened. Now pay attention, because this is important, and I'm only gonna say it once.
Okay.
So guess what? To protect everyone who had survived,
Oh,
Hope's Peak
yeah,
was
this.
transformed into a shelter.
We come to another revelation.
That's right. It was transformed.
Yeah, a shelter.
Now,
See, if you
someone
pointed
was
out, it makes it
responsible
okay.
for that transformation, for creating what would eventually become your prison. Do any of you know who that might have been?
Headmaster. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Prime Minister, he did it. The Prime Minister of America.
The headmaster of Hope. He wanted to turn the school into a shelter to try and protect us.
But who did it?
To protect
Who
us
actually did it?
from the despair and tragedy taking
What do you mean?
place outside.
Who actually created the shelter? Because it wasn't the. Do you think the headmaster went around with big metal plates and giant spanners screwing them onto the walls?
Yeah. He's a tough guy. Was it Sakura?
That's why he asked us to
It was,
make
wasn't
that
it?
promise.
Sakura's great. I love her. She's the best.
To say that we were willing to live in this school forever.
We believe he had something like that in mind, yes. If you, the collective hope of a new generation, could survive, maybe the world could have a fresh
He
start.
intended us to be a breeding program from the beginning.
You, the hope of the new generation, and the lucky one.
The headmaster put that much faith in you.
And because we had that same hope, that's why we all agreed to live here forever.
I'm looking forward to Danganronpa 2.
But creating the shelter.
It's going to be a
was also
while.
his
This is
single
going to take a
biggest
big
mistake.
recovery period for me.
Oh yeah. Well, it's going to take a while to upload all these episodes in between Dark Souls.
That too. But after that, I'll still be
And-
burnt out from...
And then after that, the series is still going to go on a hiatus.
Really, he was the headmaster, but he had no idea.
He had no idea that he had imprisoned 2 of the people he was trying to avoid in his own shelter.
The ultimate despair had already made our way into the school.
They were right under my nose all along.
So
Mukuro's
what was
so
supposed
cute.
to be a shelter to keep you
I like
safe
freckles.
I love freckles.
became
It's like a sprinkle of
cage
cinnamon on
that
something
made it
already sweet.
impossible for you to escape
Yeah.
despair.
For some reason in my mind, Megan always has freckles, even though she doesn't really have any.
I just want to build the perfect woman, and she isn't. Hello, sweetie.
What are you doing with that orange marker?
Don't worry about it.
Me a ton of time.
I'm going to cut off the face of Mukuro to create the perfect
By
woman.
the way, it was
Take
you
Aoi's-
I'm
yourselves
gonna take
who blocked
Aoi's
off the
breasts,
windows, the doors,
Mukuro's
all the
face.
It was them.
Oh yeah.
Under the headmaster's direction, you all went about your work like obedient little
Yeah, they
sheep.
sealed themselves inside.
You mean we trapped ourselves in here?
Just because, firstly, it'd be funny to bring this up for old time's sake, and secondly, because it raises a very good question. The fuck is up with the Gatling gun? Yeah, guys, just install it over there by the pool! That'll keep you safe! They don't explain it!
Probably installed by She probably installed it herself by Mukuro. I don't fucking know. Oh wait, do you remember when Yasuhiro said, "I thought I heard construction outside," and that was actually the machine guns. We actually see that scene in Danganronpa 3.
Oh, cool.
We actually see the scene of where somebody tries to come and save them.
Save them?
Yeah,
Do they get shot?
they get shot at.
Once
Yeah.
you finished building your little shelter, it was
Fallout
time for
shelter.
me and Mukuro to get to work.
Yeah.
And thus
Well,
began the
after we killed the headmaster.
game.
Me and Mukuro had come
Mukuro
here,
and I.
spending the last 2
Doesn't matter.
years waiting for that moment.
That
Dramatically it
moment
does.
where you all began killing each other served as the climax of our global despair plan.
So the
And the
survivors
only
could
reason
see
you
that the
survived
last
the
hope of the
tragedy
world
was
were
so
all
that you
killing
could be
each
a
other,
part of it.
and that would be the final nail in the despair-filling coffin.
You only let us live so we could go around killing each other? Is that what you're saying?
Why? Why would you do that?
Because this was so much more than a simple high school
It
day.
really was. Like, I came into when I bought this game, I was not expecting any of this shit.
Destroy every last remaining speck of
That's what's
hope
good
in the
about some
world.
games.
Of course, it's not good for any piece of media to pull out a fucking twist that
But
you
this
could
has
just
been hinted
not,
to.
that you could just not have seen coming anywhere.
And
But
you
this
could
has
have
been
seen-
this has been
This
hinted
is
to.
twisted so cleverly that you could have seen it coming if you were really fucking smart.
I have been looking out for all of the subtle foreshadowings that's been dropping since the beginning of the game, since we started, and it's been there. It has definitely been
I
there.
picked up on a lot of it though. Like, that just goes to prove that you can actually figure a lot of this out.
Another one that I never even noticed when I was first. Well, I say that it was really obvious, but I get what it means in retrospect. When Celeste asked if we can have any new magazines in the rec room, Monica was like, "No, there are no new magazines anymore." Oh shit!
I said too much.
Show them, which is why
Well, why don't you tell me?
Why don't you fuck off?
So we can get the fuck out of here. We've still got so long to go.
Oh my god, I have to do something.
What a novel concept in a game. Like,
This is even still a trial.
no. Wow.
What's this?
Hijack.
Oh, they're moving quick.
Yeah, it's meant to be one of the last Hangman's Gambits. Gimme an I. Gimme a J. What is that
We're
spell?
done.
I don't know. I'm putting as much effort as they put into the character.
You're
Junko.
talking about you hijacking the airwaves, aren't you?
Oh my god.
That's exactly what I'm talking
Must be easy
about.
when no one's fucking broadcasting anything.
We've still, yeah, that's why it was easy. We've still got the whole section to go through where she tries to convince us to stay.
That was the whole point of the ultimate despair. When I said climax, that was what I was talking about. The
We
world
started
warped
this when
as
she
you
was
fell into
revealed.
despair and began to
Yes,
kill
and
each
it's
other.
been
Despair is
2
as
hours.
contagious as any disease.
We're still going though.
Yeah.
Isn't the power of television just amazing? By the way, since we started broadcasting, a whole bunch of people have tried to come and rescue you.
Indeed.
Are you serious?
Yep.
But utilizing the heavy weaponry I installed.
Ah,
around
she
the
would have
school
installed the
grounds,
Gatling gun then.
I had no problem expelling them. Expelled them? I have to thank you all. They were a relentless bunch, refusing to give up on hope and trying to force their beliefs on the world.
You mean like you are?
But in the end, I was able to give them the final despair. Death.
So you just used us? To bring despair?
You're only just now realizing this?
to the world?
Well, sure, but I also gave you a second chance at life, right? So it's like, give and take.
No, you didn't.
How about I give you a black eye and take my leave?
Give and take?
I would
So
hate
full
fuck
of
the shit out of
shit.
her. Whoa.
Oh, shit, dude! To survive when all the other students were
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's not like me.
Oh, I'm not usually like this. I'm usually...
You're wrong!
I have a few twin ticks, you know. It is a class trial after all.
You're so full of shit!
I mean, we built up 2 years of memories together. You were all my treasured classmates.
I love you all so much. Except for I don't, because I'm depressed and despairing.
That's a lie. I just figured you'd despair even more when you found out a friend had betrayed you.
And that's the truth. Which is what
That's
you
been
want.
happening this whole fucking time, to be honest.
That's the point of the fucking game, bitch.
This ain't no different. If anything, I should have seen it coming. I'm more despairing at myself.
You solved the mystery, but despair at the truth, right?
No.
Oh my god, that's so clever!
Did you seriously count on the possibility that we would solve your mystery?
And if we did, then what?
That's...
Our
I don't
final
like it.
desire
She's not
for
royalty,
creating
she's
this
a
world
cunt.
of despair was so we could experience one
And
last
there is the plot,
vast
there is the potential
trial.
plot hole. Why would she
If
set
you
up the
were bold
possibility
enough
for her
to
to be
solve the
beaten?
mystery,
And the
then
answer
we'd
to that
discover
simply
that the
is
truth was
because
Despair at being beaten.
it would
yeah.
would bring the greatest despair of being
How would
beaten.
you
So either way, she's happy.
What would you do?
See? Discovering the truth doesn't necessarily lead to a sense of hope.
Truth can be full of despair too.
Did someone just fucking
like
punch her and
fucking
kill her?
now.
I see her just elbows her right fucking next to her.
Why doesn't he just fucking snap her neck? He could do it.
Because they haven't had all their questions
Who
answered
gives a
yet.
Not to
fuck?
mention,
And they don't know how to open the
all
front
those
door.
motives I talked about were
Why do they need to open the front door?
To get out.
Why? They now know that outside is bad.
I mean,
Just stay
if the world
inside and
hadn't
eat all the
ended
food
at
and
all.
die.
That's what she tries to convince them of.
Well, yeah, but do it with her dead. Ah, Dreyfus is here.
Do you wanna fuck off, you little shit? I'm like you! Get the fuck out of here! I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Jesus Christ, dude.
I'm gonna go apologise.
What are you, Makoto?
I'm sorry, but...
Sorry, we're very despairing right now.
Especially me! Now sit in the corner and be quiet.
Come on, sit over here, buddy.
What do you want me to do?
Just come sit over here, you can join in.
Right.
So, let's fill him in on the story so far.
Right, okay! Okay, sit down, buddy!
Okay, that's a bad guy. That's it, pretty much.
Yeah, we like her.
I know. She's a one-dimensional cunt who keeps changing personalities for the sake of it. Basically, all these people have been put into a killing game.
Yeah. Have you not been watching the series?
No. He doesn't watch my channel.
Okay.
You look like a wannabe American celebrity.
Don't say things the audience aren't gonna get.
He looks terrible. There we go. What the fuck has happened to your hair?
Okay,
Carry
look,
on.
I spent 4 weeks in camp.
Carry on.
You've been camp. Anyway, so all these kids have been put into a game where they have to kill each other inside this school that they're trapped in, and it turns out one of them was the mastermind all along, who pretended to be dead. And I figured it out because I'm smart. Basically,
but
the world and the outside world is also fucked because this killing game is just like these are all the greatest people on Earth apparently, and this girl's forcing them to kill each other and make everyone outside watch to make them all really sad, and now everyone started killing each other.
They've only just discovered that the outside world is crap, so now she's about to try and convince them to stay.
Yeah, it's really convoluted.
There's like 40
There's
hours.
no easy way to explain it.
Right.
But should we end the recording here and do a third one, or?
Do you know what? We probably fucking should after that interruption.
We'll be back.
Oh, save the game.
Come back. Be quiet. I was like,
don't bother.
Right.
You think I'm emotionally checked out at this point?
We've been here for 5 hours.
This wasn't longer than that. We've been recording all fucking day. This shit.
Right.
Bye, everyone. Fuck off.
Fuck you.
Fuck off. Fuck all of yous. I hate you.